heart is the nine of hearts, then you is all about universal love, because this is a universal number. It's the all-containing symbol. It contains all. It's the end and the beginning. You are adventurous and you have impulsive nature, and you attract a variety of interests and of people. You know what I'm saying? You attract because you charming. You know what I mean? You're knowledgeable. You're old soul, and you're willing to serve people by sharing your experience. So surrender your ego, because nines indeed will find a life of happiness and satisfaction, especially when they surrender their ego and they let go. So it's all about for you to let go and to live. You know what I mean? And to forgive and keep moving, keep pushing, and live life to your best, because people watching you will always attract admirers and followers. As the nine of hearts, which is love, the emotions, people can feel you. You know what I mean? Just like you can feel them, you got psychic ability. It's in you. But you can go to the screen. So love and money don't fit your aura, because love will always win. Because you got love for people and life itself. And so this is why you don't get along with money that good as the number 9 vibration. People who are born under the 9 of hearts are never weak. And so they have tolerance. They want to be understood and are willing to make sacrifices to be understood. It is wise not to expect too much, you know what I mean, from the personal relationships, because it'll be a disappointment. Because these people here can go to the screen on the good side or the bad side, and so they must watch themselves and balance themselves out through knowledge of their higher self, their higher power. They must look within so they can channel their emotional powers, which is strong, and control their strong feelings. Because this will be used as a force to amplify the scope of their expression and understanding. And so they must use the concept within their mind, the philosophy of universal love. Keep it in their mind, keep it in their hearts. And so they can remember their purpose in here on this planet. So as the 9 of hearts, there is a magnetic charm which can win admirers. And it's a temptation to others. But as long as they don't abuse their powers emotionally or sexually, they will win. Must overcome their selfishness with a desire to give to people and to serve others and to counsel others. And they will find real fulfillment as the 9 of hearts. Because the 9 of hearts are blessed, more than blessed. They're fortunate with their great creative mentalities. They are the intellectual and the talented, the very creative ones. And they're creative and they're fortunate in writing and publishing. Great satisfaction as the ones sort of like politics or entertainers is what they're good at. But they take responsibility, so they make great leaders. You know what I mean? So leadership is what they're born with naturally. Because people will always see them in the lead regardless if they know it or not. Because people are always looking up to a 9 of hearts person with the charm and the magnet they got, the loving spirit they got. People with the 9 of hearts are influenced by their childhood situation, which also they can learn from it, and this can give them the ability to think positive and to do what is right. They seem to be extroverts, but they probably also introverts. They might be introverts, even though they seem like they're extroverts. Easily distracted, and they can develop a habit to worry while very young. So it's important for these people to develop a positive philosophy, a concept like universal love, that they can keep in their heart and their soul, where they can reflect off of, so they can remember what they're here for. Personal life and living situations are likely to be subject to many changes. It can bring much traveling and emotional restless. Could their mind stay on fire with higher thoughts and ideas? It can be difficult for their marriage and their close relationship to people or their loved ones. And so the Nine of Hearts are often attracted to professional types. The Nine of Hearts, they're very emotional, but they don't like this quality in others. And they don't like these petty mind games or emotional games that people play. This is why they use the business aspects to overcome this emotional aspects. Yeah, so they overcome their emotional by placing them with the business aspect. So with this being said, the Nine of Hearts is not comfortable in their life a lot of times, and often there's a natural desire for them to run from problems or operate under the personality cards, which is the King, the Queen, or the Jacks. These higher personality cards, which can help them make life easier. They can have this dominating spirit. But as a gentle rule, it is not a best practice for them to do this. And they should be conscious and careful. One should strive to live up to the Queen of Hearts of that energy, and the man should strive to live up to the strength of the King of Hearts, even though y'all are the Nine of Hearts. Because the 9 is the card of universal. It's all powerful. This is the highest number. Until it go back to 10. And it goes on and on. Or go back to 1. So if you are the 9 of Hearts, you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. And don't forget that your neighbor lives all over the world. And also you live all over the world. And so be acceptance towards your neighbor as you accept it to yourself. For example, when I speak to your neighbors could be people from everywhere. You know what I mean? Everywhere. Because you're number 9. You deal with people from everywhere. And when I say they're all over the world, and I say you all over the world, you travel a lot. So I just broke it down right quick for you. 9 is all about expansion, growth. You know what I mean? And universal love. And you come in this world to experience the power of letting go. You know what I mean? You learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Higher frequency, you are happy and you are carefree, and you don't get attached to people and things in life. You know what I mean? You see yourselves as a part of the big picture, and you feel in tune with the cosmic energy flow, or the life force, or the great spirit. Rules, art, the music, poetry, and beauties of all kinds. So this is definitely what you love. That I mean, and it represents relationships like parents and child, love, marriage, and friendship. All type of aspects that deals with people, and also entertaining. Also, you could be a great artist, a poet, and musician. You got a highly sensual nature, because number 9s are very highly sexual. Card is of great fulfillment, which means great loss, or both. That I mean, it's for you to learn how to discipline yourself, because you can overcome anything more than anybody. Your life journey is full of spiritual lessons. So take heed to the call of higher values, and you will seemingly prosper. Live a prosperous life. 9 of Hearts who given to fear, you can have escapist tendencies, and you will suffer greatly. So man up. When I say man up, I'm talking about male and females. That I mean, we talking about the masculine energy, which give you strength. So man up and do what you're supposed to do, and do the right thing. And you won't have to worry about your downside because you're fortunate, because the ancestors are already with you. You're an old soul. And so this is why you always feel energy flowing through you. You feel different vibrations and frequency. You're so emotional. So that being said, it'll be financial losses, but you will bounce back. You will always have. You're very fortunate, and you are a giver naturally. You're generous, and you have a great mind, and a heart to share with the world. And so a counseling field will do good for you, and you have a natural desire to give to others. And so you must not play the role of a martyr, and keep it on a business basis. And this is how you win. And use your intellectual creative talents which you could apply to any field of science, business, or the arts, or music, with great success. So part of your challenge is to use your creativity maturely and not to travel to the lower realms of dishonesty and cheating, or the lower realms, a lower frequency like your lower self. It's for you to stay up and ascend to your higher self, and keep your lower self and your higher self balanced, so you won't be dishonest and be cheating on your mates or anything like that. And so the Nine of Hearts people, you will suffer many disappointments in your life. So it is always up to you as an individual to manifest your higher self, even when working with your spiritual aspects of your soul. You are blessed with abundance of material comfort, pleasure, beauty, and all of this. All you have to do, balance this out, do the right thing, and you will achieve. You will be a match made from heaven, and no other card can experience it like you, as the Nine of Hearts. On your higher side, or you're of higher thought or higher consciousness, this is how you win. But if you're not, you most likely to have a difficult relationship, because spirituality will keep you balanced. So there's no bound to your loss. Only you can turn your loss into fulfillment. It's all up to you. It's what you do with this energy. You got all this strength, all this powerful energy. Is up to what you do with it. So try not to play a victim or a savior. So try to cut off this type of attitude. You know what I mean? Because you're here to show by example. You're here to get as liked, but not force it. You know what I mean? Because it's always by choice and never by force. So you can learn quicker than anybody, and you love the truth. So find the satisfaction that you seek, because you are a true seeker. The Nine of Hearts men are often attracted to women of the spade suit. You know what I mean? And the Five of spade will make a good marriage for you. The Nine of Hearts women are often found with the Hearts males. And although the club males also may prove interesting and fruitful to the Nine of Hearts women. You can't avoid your spiritual side because you just got it in you. The spiritual energy, the life force is with you. You're an old soul, because all nines is an old soul, because they're about completion. So with this being said, this is numerology with the hearts, which means love, the water aspects. And so you feel emotions. You know the energy. The number 9 had the highest vibration because it's the highest single number. So to being said, as the Nine of Hearts, you're highly spiritual. You know what I mean? So if you're not spiritual and you're material, this is not you. This is why you won't do right. And so this is a card of universal love. Now, your second card, which is your planetary ruling cards, and I advise you to look up these cards, because I'm going to call out all birthdays that have different, all of you have different cards. You know what I mean? So look them up, because this is your second most important card. Even though the Nine of Hearts is your first, and this is how you must live. And every other card is temporary. So if you're trying to do anything else other than your sun card, which is this is your sun card, then you're not living right. And so this is your second most important card also. So this play a big part in your life. And so here we go. The planetary ruling cards. If you're born October the 30th, you're a Virgo. And so look up the 7 of clubs, because this is your second card. If you're born September the 28th, you're a Libra. So look up the 5 of diamonds. So if you're born October the 26th, you're a Scorpio. So look up the Queen of Spades and the King of Clubs. If you're born November the 24th, You're a Sagittarius. Look up the Jack of Clubs. So you're born December the 22nd. Look up the Jack of Clubs and the 9 of Diamonds, which is this the cards you should look up. So that being said, you are December the 22nd. That means you're in the courts of Sagittarius and Capricorn. And so you should look up the Jack of Clubs and 9 of Diamonds. So this being said, I know this is interesting. It gets no realer than this, as I can't let bring you this light. Sure.